Today, we are reacting to a video by Christian apologist named Testify.
Muslim men are allowed to marry up to 4 wives, except Muhammad, who we are told in Sahih al-Bukhari, the Prophet used to go around, have sexual relations with all his wives in one night, and he had 9 wives. Is this allowed? Yes. Muhammad's extra wives are explicitly permitted in Quran 33:50.
Here, he's just committing the special pleading fallacy. I mean, like in Christianity, there are countless examples of prophets doing things that are not allowed for Christians, right? Like, for example, King Solomon had 700 wives and 300 concubines. But Christians nowadays tell me that they are only allowed to have 1 wife, So why is it that, this King Solomon and King David and all these people, they are allowed like hundreds of wives, but then you have Jerry from the church who is only allowed to have 1 wife? Like, how's that fair? Which is why this is a special pleading clause. He's clearly making a special case for Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, when in reality the same problem exists in his own religion.
The Quran allows Muhammad to have more wives than everyone else. On a totally unrelated note, the Quran, which you remember allows Muhammad to have more wives than everyone else, was revealed to Muhammad. But that's a coincidence. Muhammad just wants to obey the word of Allah that only he can hear.
He's basically committing the special pleading fallacy. His whole argument is that, oh look, a prophet of God is getting revelation from God, and that means that he's just a fraud. But by that logic, like, that applies to everyone. Then why are you singling out Prophet Muhammad, right? I mean, like, that applies to Jesus, right? Like, where did Jesus get this idea that he's the Messiah? Oh, it was revealed to him. Shocking.
But what is Muhammad's motivation for taking a preteen wife? Thankfully, Sahih al-Bukhari tells us where that idea came from. Narrated Aisha, the Prophet said to her, "You have been shown to me twice in my dream. I saw you pictured on a piece of silk, and someone said to me, 'This is your wife.'" Allah revealed that Muhammad should marry a preteen girl. On a totally unrelated note, this revelation, which you'll remember, allows Muhammad to marry a preteen girl, was revealed to Muhammad. But that's a coincidence. Muhammad just wants to obey the word of Allah that only he can hear.
If you're going to say that, he's getting revelation that benefits him, other prophets have also gotten revelation that benefits them. Where did Moses get the idea that he can commit genocide, which, by the way, favors him as a warlord, one could argue, so that he could take out more land? Here, another revelation was revealed only to Moses that only benefits him, but for some reason, they're not like frauds. But when it comes to the Prophet Muhammad, he's not a real prophet. And it's completely inconsistent. Like, if you're going to say that, no, if a prophet gets a revelation that clearly benefits him, and that means he's a fraud, then yeah, Moses is a fraud, and by that logic, Jesus is a fraud.
You're a fool, with all due respect, and you're ignorant of these things.
Muhammad had the great privilege of giving his first cousin, Zainab bint Jahsh, to his adopted son, Zayd bin Muhammad, as his wife. How wonderful. Zainab bint Jahsh was a beautiful young woman. According to the history of al-Tabari, one of Islam's most trusted histories of Muhammad's life, after they are married, Muhammad accidentally sees Zainab at home when she had dressed in haste. She jumps to her feet and runs to the door, but Muhammad turns away and will not come inside. Hearing of this later, Zayd offers to separate from his wife so that Zainab could be Muhammad's 6th wife. Muhammad refuses, but then Muhammad, overwhelmed by the power of revelation, is given permission to marry the wife of his adopted son. How? Allah provides.
You are fake news.
This report is completely fabricated. This whole incident of the Prophet going to Zainab's house and then seeing her is a complete fabrication. It never happened.
This hadith is from Al-Tabari, Jami al-Bayan fi Tafsir al-Quran, volume number 274. Al-Tabari, Tariq al-Rasul, and Al-Muluk. You can read about this, volume 2, 563. So the narrator, Ibn Zayd here, is Abdul Rahman bin Zayd bin Aslam al-Adwi. Now, he was from the generation that succeeded the followers of the companion and died in the year 798. His report, therefore, is mudal. Moreover, he was considered as a weak narrator by almost all the scholars without any opposition. You can read about this in Tadib al-Tadib by Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, volume number 6, 177 to 179. The hadith number is 363.
All the reports that reports this are all fabrications. There's not a single reliable report on this, and the only few reliable reports that we do have does not mention him like being attracted to her or anything of the sort.
Sunan an-Nasa'i 3959. We're told the following. It was narrated from Anas that the Messenger of Allah had a female slave with whom he had intercourse, but Aisha and Hafsa would not leave him alone until he said that she was forbidden for him. Muhammad agreed not to have sex with his slave girl, Mary the Copt. You might think that this is good and honorable, but Allah disagrees. Allah's words are recorded in Quran 66:1-3. O Prophet, why do you prohibit yourself from what Allah has made lawful to you, seeking to please your wives? And Allah is all-forgiving, most merciful. The Quran allows Muhammad to have sex with his slave. On a totally unrelated note, the Quran, which you'll remember allows Muhammad to have sex with his slave, was revealed to Muhammad. But that's a coincidence.
Again, he's committing the special pleading fallacy. Having sex with your slaves is also allowed in the Bible. Abraham had sex with his slave, Hagar, right? As a matter of fact, Hagar was given to him by his wife. Genesis 16, basically Sarah gives her slave girl to Abraham so that he can marry her. But it doesn't make any sense. Genesis 16:5, where basically it says, when she, Abraham's wife Sarah, knew she, Hagar, was pregnant, she began to despise her mistress. Now, if this is the case that Abraham actually married this Hagar, then why is the Bible calling her a mistress, right? Like, it doesn't make any sense. So clearly she was a sex slave, right? So my question is that if this is the case, that having sex with your slaves is wrong, then clearly what Abraham did is also wrong. And by that logic, since having sex with slave is something that benefits Abraham, because it protected his lineage, right? And it benefits him. And this is a revelation that was not objected to by God or allowed by God, and it benefits him. Then clearly this means that Abraham is a fraud, right? But he doesn't have a problem with this. He only have a problem with when Prophet ﷺ was given a revelation that benefits him, right? So he's clearly not consistent. Also, he's committing the cherry-picking fallacy. There are many incidents in the Quran that actually goes against the Prophet ﷺ and what he wants. If you read Quran 8:67, in this verse, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala criticizes the Prophet ﷺ himself. So 8:67, it says, "It is not fit for a prophet that he should take captives until he has thoroughly subdued the land, you believers settled with the fleeting gains of the world, while Allah aim for you is hereafter. Allah is almighty and wise." So basically, the context behind this verse is that after Battle of Badr, the Muslims were not sure what to do with prisoners of war, and Umar radiallahu anhu suggested that they should be killed. But the Prophet ﷺ did not like this idea. Then Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu told him that they should be pardoned and he should free them. And Prophet ﷺ liked his advice and he basically freed them with a ransom. But then this verse is revealed where Allah SWT literally criticizes him because he ransomed them instead of killing them. The point is that here, this verse clearly criticizes the Prophet or goes against what the Prophet wanted. This clearly goes against Testify's little theory that if a Quran verse benefits the Prophet or a hadith benefits the Prophet, therefore the Prophet is making up these things. That clearly, if a hadith or a Quran verse goes against the Prophet, then clearly it disproves this theory. So basically here he's committing the cherry-picking fallacy. He's only picking incidents where Allah SWT benefited the Prophet and ignoring incidents where he didn't.
You are a fraudster!
Like, these are not good arguments because actually he's committing the cherry-picking fallacy. That's the reason this argument is reward, because it's not the case that Allah SWT only helped the Prophet, he also criticized the Prophet, because why would he criticize himself? That doesn't make any sense. I'm this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys like the video, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and please do subscribe to the channel. It helps a lot. I'm almost near 5k subscribers. Please help me get there. And if you want to support me, because I remember becoming a Patreon or a team member, inshallah, I'll see you guys next time. Inshallah, jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.